Hi, I'm Dan Mangan, here to talk about my song Whistleblower, which I wrote some time ago. I think that we all sort of wander back and forth between these two poles in our personality. One being the more automatic self, perfunctory, dishes, sleeping, eating, pooping, going to the bank. And it's more numb, it's more cold, it's a little bit more focused on sort of just like moving through the meat grinder. And the other side of ourselves is the more empathetic, the more intuitive, the more emotional, feeling the interconnectedness of the zeitgeist and the energies of all humanity interconnecting and intersecting, feeling the injustices of the world and wanting to solve them, and being really burdened by the weight of the world. And I think if you spend too much time on either one of these poles, it can be quite unhealthy, and you can sort of lose your foothold on yourself, and you can get lost in the, if you wade too deep into the current pulls you away in the river. So it's important to find ways to wander back and find that balance between these worlds. At the same time, it's important to live a little bit at the edge now and then, to touch that venerable nerve of existence and sort of be witness to the intensities and to feel them and to honor them. Because without that, life becomes very numb. And that's not good either. So the song is about balance. It's about feeling that intensity. There's a line in there that says, I'll come back from being away, get complacent and unawake, back to my senses. This idea that society wants to pull you away from the intensity because it's just a lot for other people to handle. There's some guilt associated with living in that intensity because people around you maybe don't know what to do with you. And there's this sort of implicit understanding that, back to my senses is to feel complacent and unawake. And so you don't want too much of any of it. You want to bounce, you want to float. I find the things that help me find equilibrium often have to do with breathing, meditation. I take a cold bath every morning. I do breathing exercises in the cold bath. It helps me sort of focus on the day. It helps me accept the intensities of the world without being burdened by them. It allows me in a sort of Buddhist sense to understand what I can and cannot control, and to try and find resonance in my life and what I can control and the things that I can do to make life joyful and meaningful for those around me. So that's part of my process. The other part of the song that I think is key is the line about, willful blindness. There's sort of let's say a stoic aloofness or dishonesty about parts of society. The white picket fence, Pleasantville, perfect existence, Instagram filter. And we all play into it on some degree. We can't escape it. But I think there's a part of this song that is about witnessing and understanding when you're up against dishonesty, when it comes up in the world, it comes up in the news, it comes up when people you run into, morning talk show hosts, and sort of calling out the bullshit, calling it out, but also not being burdened by it, not taking it on or being so injured by it that you can't cope. So it's about being strong enough to call it out, but also strong enough to let it go and understand that you can't stop it because it's everywhere. And it's something you can't control. So it's a lot, but those are my thoughts on Whistleblower. And it's about mental health. It's about finding the balance. So thanks. Hope you enjoy it.